Hi, my name is Noel Davis with Vermicompost, and here's our week 29 update for our bin. The last time I added some food that had gone through a juicer, and it should be probably almost fully processed by now, if not fully processed. It's a little longer than I wanted to take on doing an update, but let's just take a look and see how it is since I added it to the top of the bin and not underneath. So let's go and take a look. So here's our bin right here. And look at that. It's a little wet on top. Some worms on the top of the bin here, like over here. So now, if you notice, all the food, it's all gone. Everything that we put in on the top is gone. It is now mixed in. It is not there at all. So that's what happens when you top feed. Now see, look at all the worms in here too. There's a whole lot of worms in the topsoil. Actually, there still is a little bit of food over here, it looks like. So there's a little bit of food left, but not much. But what happens is they just keep working through it very quickly. And this is what I've found every time I add food like this to the bin, is that it disappears quickly. There's times where in some of my really, really well-worn bins, I've added food like that, and then the next day added more, and the next day added more, and they just can consume it all. So that's what you really want with a worm bin, is where they can consume everything you're putting in there. And this is all the burlap we have left, really. But you can tell there's just a lot of worms in here. I mean, look, there's more worms over here and over here. And they're just all through this bin now. This bin is actually very, very well established. If we wanted to, you could maybe throw, if you have a bin like this, you can throw in some different materials that you're not used to putting in. But see, this bin is really established. Now, I am still seeing little tiny white worms in here. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if they're pot worms or not. I don't know if they're pot worms or just little tiny worms that are actually somewhat translucent, and I just can't see them that well. And they only look like they have color because of the fact they're on something that's dark. So I don't know what to tell you with those. It's just I've had a few of you ask questions about them. I just don't know. But I've noticed that there's more and more of them in the bin, and they're not just in the coffee grounds anymore. But I'm beginning to wonder actually if they are just baby worms and this bin's doing that well where there's just a ton of baby worms in here. Because I've noticed that the worm population is really, really kicked up. Actually, here's a banana peel right here. So here's a banana peel with worms. Or just flipped it over. I thought there were worms inside of it, but I might have knocked them out. So this bin is actually doing really, really well here. Actually, there's a whole bunch of little baby, smaller worms over here. So it's doing really, really well. And we're going to continue to... And actually, I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of the cardboard actually is already consumed as well. If you notice that there's a lot less bedding in here than when you look at some of the videos from a few weeks ago. The bedding is really, really down. And look at this. There's a whole bunch of worms in here. And again, no smell whatsoever from this bin. There should not be smells. It should not smell bad. A whole group of worms in here. So you can just see how well this bin is doing. I'm going to just dig this up a little bit more. I mean, every forkful I've got here has worms in it seems like. So this bin is really, really well established and is working out really, really well. Big chunk of cardboard there or something. It looks like we have some fruit peels or something like that are left over here that aren't quite fully gone yet. But you could tell this bin is just really, really well established. It's working really well, and we're going to throw some more food in, obviously. So this is all frozen, but I'm just going to throw it in. There's some celery, some melon, and of course some banana peels. Because I go through a lot of bananas, and actually it looks like there was a piece of asparagus on there as well. So I'm going to just pile that back over here, kind of cover this back up again. But that's basically it. All I'm going to do for this week is just add those in, and actually, this is a banana peel. I gotta make sure I dig that down. It's right here. Last thing I want is to start getting fruit flies in here, but you can just see there's worms all over the top, all throughout the bin. It's really well established. It's doing really, really well, and I think it took a little longer than we needed to because of the fact that I kind of played around with it a little bit and did some things. I forgot to take care of it a little bit, but it's doing really well right now, and I think this is almost to the point where it'd be a time to harvest it actually and maybe take out some of the material and either start another bin. You take out half of it, add it to another bin, like like one of these bins, that you have ready to go, and then you'd add more material and start doing it on the other side. You have two bins, or you take part of it, you sort through it, you put the worms back in, or you put them in another bin, or you sell them, or do whatever. But this is almost to that point. Now, if you can't tell, they've already started digging down, and most of them on the top have dug down already. So it shows that they're really healthy and they're active and they're doing well. So that's my update for week 29. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you.